Well, good evening, gang, and welcome to It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn Williams, and I'm your host. And to my right and to your left, of course, is the lovely Julia Perciasepe. How are you?
I'm great.
How's everything doing?
Good.
I want to remind everybody we're coming to you live from our beautiful studios here at BNN TV, and you're more than welcome to join us if you'd like. We're at 617-708-3290. Now, I know you've always wanted to do that, so there it is. There's the number right there. You can give us a call. Dave and the great staff of BNN are in the other room answering the phones. So if you'd like to join us, please give us a call. Let us know what's going on in your community, what you're doing artfully, and join us. How you doing?
Good.
How was your week? You had a great week?
Yeah, I was watching earlier shows, and I always, when you say, how are you, I always say, I'm good. So I'm like, I'm great.
Great, yeah. All right, yeah. Well, that's good. Saturday was an unbelievable day.
It felt great.
I mean, we needed that badly. I mean, we needed to be reminded that we are from New England, and you never know what you're going to get or how it's going to hit you. But it was great. It was a great day. Did you get to? You didn't have a show last week. You didn't have a viewing. You have one coming up, though, don't you?
We have one coming up, and I'm going to talk about it in Julia's World and show a trailer.
You know, one of the things I did want to bring up is great friend of mine, Linda Burnett, is involved in. There's an organization called Breast Cancer Action, and what they're doing is they're putting on a presentation. It's called Seeing Red: The Truth About Pink Ribbons, and that is going to be hosted by Callie Crossley, who is WGBH radio and TV host. She's going to be it's going to be at Thursday, April 3rd, from 6 to 8:30. It's going to be at Northeastern University School of Law at the Dockser Hall. It's room 240. So why don't you get over there and give them some of your attention on what they're going to be talking about. I guess there's a couple of things about the pink ribbons. Where's the money going? And we want to explain to people how it's, you know, how it is actually doing. So it's a good thing to do. We'll be reminded, and we'll remind you a couple more times. It's coming up in the beginning of April. So.
Cool.
Yep. I want every now and then, every couple of weeks, I want to make sure that I jump back into the outfit that you work for. I think it's really important that people know and understand the importance of what your company's doing.
Yeah.
You guys are a distributor. Is it fair to call you a distributor?
I guess in the most literal sense, that is one aspect of what we do. We're a nonprofit organization, and we distribute films in the most non-commercial way possible. I mean, our mission is about promoting learning. You know, about the people and cultures of the world, and you know, we want people to have access to the film so that, you know, we can increase cross-cultural understanding. And you know, we have screenings and send the films all over the world to educational institutions and other nonprofits and student groups and, you know, independent cinemas. So
is there a how do I put this? Do you have a stipulation on what kind of films you're dealing with? I mean, you're not doing the Lego movie, are you?
No.
Not that kind of thing.
They're all independent documentaries. And so there's kind of a group of these nonprofit distributors, and we all kind of have our own little niche, whether it's, you know, films about women or, you know, films about social issues, and our specific niche is ethnographic films, so kind of films about the people and the cultures of the world. And, you know, they're all fairly small budget, academically oriented films, but, you know, they're great,
I like to use this segment for people to get to know you a little better. What brought you to that line of business?
Sure. Well, I have a master's in arts and cultural management, and so I was looking at Pratt Institute. And so I was looking for something to do, something to manage. I had never worked with film before. I'd always worked with visual arts. But I have a passion for culture and other people's culture. And so just kind of looking at documentary film as a form of visual art. I mean, it is. And and kind of combining that with my passion for culture, it was a perfect fit.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, you gotta love what you do.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds pretty exciting. I mean, you get to go to these premieres and these showings, and you were all agog about the Oscars the other day.
Yeah, not all agog, but yeah, about the documentaries in particular.
About the documentary sections.
Yeah, I would say we're very distant cousins of the Hollywood world.
You mean film is in film?
Yeah.
Well, that's great. I think it's important. And what's the name of the outfit that you're with?
Documentary Educational Resources.
So let's say I am a documentary film cat, and I've done my document. I've done the thing that they just screened here at B&N about the elevated that used to go right past this building. Yeah. What do I got to do? Do I go to the website, or do I show up at the front door with a can? Or?
Please don't show up at the front door.
Please don't show up at the front door.
No, so our website is www.der.org, and all the information about distribution is on there, and you're always welcome to call 617-926-0491, and you'll probably get me, and I'll explain it all to you. But yeah, so we, have various requirements, and we ask that you, submit to the right email address, and, include a trailer and a synopsis and a resume, all the general submission things.
Are you going through a lot of that paperwork before you even get to the film? I mean, is the screening process? Well, this guy this is his first one, or is it?
Yeah, there's a lot of conversation.
There can be, yeah.
I mean, we get films submitted through various channels, and we're also actively looking for films to acquire.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of conversation that goes into
Well, I think there has to be.
Because it's a big commitment for us to distribute a film, and it has to be the right film for us, and we have to be the right distributor for the filmmaker. So,
how many submissions do you average?
A week, a month, a year?
A month. Let's say a month.
A month.
A good month.
Well, I would say it's better to get a lower amount of submissions of high quality.
Yes,
because it's easier for us.
Of course.
But I would, it could be up to 100 submissions a month. Granted, maybe half of those we can immediatly, it's obvious that they're just sending a mass email to every distributor, or it's about, biology. Not biology, because we do have some biology films, but
it's about
nuclear science or something like
something
that.
That that's not part of your niche.
They clearly haven't, researched us.
So I was going to say, you'd have to have your own popcorn maker if you're going to watch that many films.
Yeah.
That's a lot of.
I do watch a lot of films at work.
Yeah, that's
which is kind of nice.
Can you go to the theater? Can you go down to Lowe's and watch
one of our
Despicable
films?
3? No, a regular.
During my work?
No. No. I mean, are you sick and tired eventually?
No, I love films.
Movies.
I mean, it is hard sometimes to watch the more intellectually stimulating films at home, just because I have so much of that at work. When I go home, sometimes I just want to watch the stupidest movie ever.
Family Guy or something,
Yeah, but.
Well, that's great. I'm glad that, and if you do get something on the Cosmos and it's not about you, do you refer them to the right place, or
Sometimes.
is it something you'll forward, or maybe a polite email or something?
Yeah, we always send an email, and if we have a suggestion for them, we give it to them. And if it has gotten to the point where we've seen, the entire film, but then have decided that it's still not for us, we will give, some. What is
references or something?
What is that good criticism? What am I thinking of?
Yeah, and I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
Why can't I think of that phrase? It's like everybody uses that phrase. Yeah.
A good critique.
Some positive
reinforcement.
Feedback.
Yeah. I think that's important to be able to do that too. You've got one coming up that you guys are going to be showing.
A screening,
I would imagine that if it gets to the point where you're sitting down and paying attention to the film, you know that the cat's real.
Yeah.
And you know that he's, done what he's,
Yeah, and at that point the conversation starts to get even deeper, and you talk about the marketing of the film and the audience of the film, and Ultimately, it just sometimes doesn't work because, either we don't have the manpower to do it, or we can't quite wrap our heads around where that film falls.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So what's coming up? There's one coming up. You're going to talk about it in Julia's World.
I'll talk about it in Julia's World, yeah.
I think, you talked about a couple of minutes ago about reviewing and seeing some of our old shows. Do you know where you can go and do that, Julia?
I do.
If you go to YouTube, on YouTube, their station there is It's All About Arts 1, and we put up every show. This show is going to be up there tomorrow. And there's our Twitter account if you want to drop us a tweet. There you go, right there. Very, very good. That's going to be your job from now on. Congratulations.
Now I have the way.
You've got to promote.
Oh, they took it away from me. Okay.
And there you are. And if you want to send us a tweet or you want to let us know about an event that's coming up that you want Julia's World to cover or something like that, you can tweet us at It's All About Arts. Yep. And it gets right to us. But I do want to take a couple of seconds here, if I could, just to talk a little bit about our great partner and our great friends here at the Boston Main Streets program. Boston Main Streets is a volunteer-driven organization that helps revitalize business districts around the city. There's about 19 of them around the city and hundreds of them around the country. What they do is they work with the property owner to make sure he has the correct demographic information so that he can get the correct business in his storefront down front. And once that's in there, there's a design committee that actually has some stipend money to help pay for signage to hang your sign up out in front of your store. The requirement for that is that you take the grates down. Now, we at Main Streets understand that it's your family's investment and it's all your life earnings are in there and stuff. But the one thing that they've discovered is the less grates, the more people respect the area. Then after that, the promotions committee kind of takes over and starts running events and what have you in the area so people will come down and discover your store. So if you see an event going on, please thank them because all they do is love their community, just like you do, and they're all volunteers. The other thing we talk about, of course, is this amazing building that we're in. We're at 3025 Washington Street, right in Eggleston Square. It used to be the power station for the MBTA, the Orange Line, rattling down Washington Street from Forest Hills. This is where they got their power, but now it is the home of this phenomenal organization, BNN TV, Boston Neighborhood Network. You too can come here. If you have your nonprofit and you want to get your message out, this is the place to come and do it. You come in and sit here for a half an hour or an hour on a weekday evening and bring in guests and talk about what your nonprofit's been up to and get your mission statement out. This is the place to do it. The other half of BNN is you become a member, and at that membership you come and take Final Cut Pro. You learn how to use these incredible cameras and all of the editing materials and all of the great Timothy Smith lab downstairs, and you document the Little League game or you produce whatever you want to do, and lo and behold, they'll put it on the air for you. And also, if you go to that website, www.bnntv.org, we are streaming live there right now. So if you want to have any questions or you want to become a member or you think your nonprofit needs a seat in here, please go to www.bnntv.org. Get in touch with Janice Williams. She's the person with all the answers down there. And we'd love to have you here. Did I forget anything?
No, I think I discovered where JP Main Streets
Oh, you did?
lives. It's in the same building as where I do yoga.
Oh,
so
really?
Next time I go, their door's always closed. The next time I'm going to go.
Knock on there and say thank you. Yes. They're a phenomenal organization. And they just love their community, and it's the only reason they're doing this because they want to live in a cool place. So that's about it. Listen, we have a great show tonight. We're going to be photography. We're talking about a great program that's going on over at Boston Arts Academy, and anything else you want to throw in? Well, we'll see at the end, right?
Yeah, I'll come back on the end, and we got Julia's World. I got to talk fast because we have a lot to go over.
Yes, we do have a lot. Listen, gang, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Don't go away. You are watching BNN TV's It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn. This is Julia. We'll be back in just one quick minute with Julia's World. Thank you. Well, welcome back, gang. Thanks an awful lot for hanging in there with us. You are watching BNN TV's It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn Williams, and I'm your host, and you can join us if you'd like. We're at 617-708-3290. And also, I want to remind everybody of those sites where you can go and get older shows of ours. And this show will be on that station on YouTube tomorrow. Around this time it comes up. That is It's All About Arts 1. And if you want to tweet us a message during the show or after the show or whatever, and you have your ideas on what you'd like to do with this show, you can do that at It's All About Arts on Twitter. And right now, thanks for hanging in there, gang. And right now, it's my great pleasure. It's time for Julia's World.
Thanks, Glenn. Hey, guys. Welcome to Julia's World. I'm going to go kind of fast because we have a lot to get through today on the show. First up, Brookline Booksmith in Coolidge Corner is having the Bash reading series on Friday the 14th at 7 p.m. And that's several poetry readings that are curated by a neat little publishing organization called Black Ocean Press. And they're based out of Boston, New York, and Chicago. And so the poets that are going to be reading are Christina Davis, Dorothea Lasky, and Jasmine Dream Wagner. Second up, I just want to let everybody know that every Friday night at the Crosby Whistle Stop, there's swing dancing. So if you want to get your dancing shoes on, head out there. It's right near Sullivan Square in Charlestown. And lessons are included in the price of admission. So the lessons are from 8 to 9. And then from 9 to midnight is the dancing. And there's going to be a live band this Friday. So go check it out if you're into dancing. Third, the Museum of Science, all March, thanks to funding by MathWorks. They're having free film Fridays, which is pretty exciting. So it's first come, first serve. You go pick up your tickets at the theater. I mean, there's some really interesting things screening there this month. And then I just want to remind everybody about the Irish Film Festival at the Somerville Theater. Remember, it's their centennial, so they're showing all kind of interesting programming. And that festival, obviously for St. Patrick's Day, is going on from the 20th to the 23rd, I believe. And then lastly, my organization is having a screening on March 20th at 7 p.m. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. at Emerson's Paramount Theater in the Bright Family Screening Room. And that's either Chinatown stop on the Orange Line or Downtown Crossing. And that we're showing that as part of two series, really, as part of Emerson's Bright Lights series and also MIT's Women Take the Real series, which is a great little series that's coming up. And the film that we're going to be showing is called Postcards from Tora Bora, which I think I mentioned on a previous show. And we're going to take a look at the trailer really quickly. Yeah, for more information, you can check out the Facebook page for Bright Lights Emerson. And of course, you can always call me at work. So here's the trailer.
This is my parents' wedding at the Intercontinental Hotel. Looking at my parents, captured on film, forever young, forever happy, their future seemed bright. In a million years, they could not have imagined what was about to become of their lives, their city, and their country.
Afghanistan.
Whenever we'd see the Soviet soldiers passing by underneath, we would spit on them.
These are RPGs, you know RPGs?
That looks like my father when he was young. Sometimes it's better not to see what used to be.
It's a really interesting film, so if you're interested, make sure you guys check it out. And that's all I have. So back to you, Glenn.
Thank you very much, Julia. That was great. Thanks for taking that. You know, I love adding that whole segment, Julia. That's really rounding us out. We've got to get you out into the elements as soon as we get a few more of these Saturdays put together. It'd be really, really cool. Listen, gang, right now, though, it's my great pleasure and honor to introduce to you, please, Fran Gardino. Hello, Fran. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Welcome to B&N. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
You are a photographer.
Yep.
And it says Brookline Fine Arts Photographer.
It's actually Brighton.
Brighton. Okay,
Yeah, sorry.
Brighton
Yeah.
fine arts
Yeah.
photographer. Let me ask you, if you had to put a category next to the kind of photography that you do, you know, they have these websites where you can put a press kit together, and there was a drop-down menu. What would you put down as the kind of photographer you are?
I'd say the most common thing that I shoot are panoramas.
Panoramics,
Yeah.
okay.
And I print them big too, and sometimes I'll do 360 versions of them. But I belong to the International Association of Panorama Photographers.
Ooh, that's very, sir, that's very good.
Yeah, it's a kind of a strange group. You know, they all like to shoot these long panoramas, and so we all go to these places and we all take millions of shots, you know, and then put them all together and then try to make something out of them.
Now, are you putting them together using a Corel or a Photoshop or something of that nature?
Yeah.
Yes, Photoshop is the industry standard, I suppose, right?
It does a really good job now.
Yeah.
Photoshop merge, and so you just put them in. You know, you have to take them in sequence, and then once you just load them in, they just kind of stitches them together.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a little
You
fixing.
still got to fudge it around,
Oh, yeah.
though, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
There's a lot of manipulation.
Now, how long have you been doing this kind of photography?
Probably, you know, I found out about it about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it because of the limitations of film.
Yeah, there was no photos.
And so I wanted to do it, and I would do it with pieces of you know, photos.
Physically putting them together?
Yeah. And it really never really worked out that well.
Right.
But once the digital started to happen, then it really became something I could actually, you know, do some.
How long have you been a photographer?
Well,
Been
you know, I
shooting
don't
for a
want
long
to say,
time?
you know.
You don't have to say.
Since 1970, when I
Really?
went to school, yeah.
Oh,
I had a
great.
camera when I first went to
So
school.
so you had a Rolleiflex, and you were doing film and probably some darkroom work and stuff. We have a lot of students that watch, and you weren't doing panoramics at the beginning. You were doing regular stills and what have you, right? But that whole digital age came up on us. Both of us went through it. How did you go into that whole digital thing? Did you go kicking and screaming like some people did?
Not at all. I kind of embraced it right away.
Did
As soon
you?
as it came, as a matter of fact, the cameras weren't that, the resolution wasn't that great initially.
Mm-hmm.
But I had been using a Nikon in a regular film, you know, 35 millimeter camera. And what happened was the cameras, I think when it finally got to about 5 megapixel, I realized that, you know, I could take a shot and get a decent print out of it.
Right,
I couldn't get a giant print, but I could get probably an 8 by 10 print on it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be bad. It wasn't as good as film, but what happened was I wanted to go to color. And if you go to color in chemistry, it gets very complicated and expensive.
It can be dangerous,
Yeah,
too.
it's
There's all
not
kinds
fun.
of
I just said,
mess.
you know, I'm not going to go color.
Right.
So I closed up my black and white darkroom, and I just said, okay, I'm just going to do it on
Well,
the
that's what
computer.
Rexall's was for, wasn't it? You drop off your cans there, and they'd send you back these little prints.
Well, this is it. I would do a lot of that.
Yeah.
And actually, at first, when I first went digital, I would scan them and then print them, too, in color.
I
But
see.
that, you know, got too much touch-up. It just took forever.
So you loved it when the digital age came.
Oh, yeah.
It seemed like you were made for it, especially with
Yeah.
the kind of things that you've been doing.
Yeah.
What kind of equipment do you use today?
It's a Nikon
You stuck
still,
with it.
yeah.
Good.
I've, you know, had different cameras over the years, you know, because I'm up to a 24 megapixel right now. But it's a Nikon D5200, and it's
Yeah.
got a lot of different features to it. One of the nice things about it is I find that you can actually do, you know, shoot videos with it.
Yes,
You can
it
do the
is, yeah.
panoramas. You can do straight still shots. You know, you can do a lot with it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
They're
fun
great.
for
They're great tools these days for photographers. I mean, I shot in high school too, and I remember counting I have this many shots left, and I know that this is coming up, and I got to get that shot, and it can be taxing, but now it's just and just go.
Yeah,
you know?
as a matter of fact, I took a trip to Italy a couple of years ago.
Yes.
And it's my segue, right?
Yes, it's very good.
Anyway, so I before I went, I bought a terabyte hard drive, one of those portables.
Yeah.
And we brought our little netbook. And so I filled up about 3/4 of that hard drive with
Wow.
photos. So what would that be in film?
That'd
be ridiculous.
It'd be a truckload of,
Yeah.
of canisters.
Now I'm still working on those photos. I'm still stitching them. I'm still finding images that I haven't really looked at or haven't worked on yet.
Are you showing any place?
Yeah, I'm
Where-
showing
you
at
got a
the
show coming up?
Harvard Education Portal.
Yeah.
It's right near the Harvard Stadium in Alston.
Oh yeah.
And so I have my 360 panoramas there. I have a tent. I don't know if they have the photo of it.
Yeah,
but
we're going to bring
show-
them up in just a minute. But
Okay, so
yeah.
I have that show that's up right now, and then they're open from 2 to 7 every Monday through Thursday, and then they also have a show at the Italian consulate in the
Yep.
Federal Reserve Building. That's on the 17th floor.
That's nice.
Yeah, and so that's, again, it's the Italian theme.
Have they
because
had
that's where I
that
went.
reception yet? That opening reception?
No, we haven't had that yet. We're
Let
still
us
working.
know. Let us know when that reception
We'll
is.
let you know. Maybe you can
we'll
announce
come,
it. Yeah,
well,
too,
now we'll come in with a camera and shoot it.
Yeah, it was funny because that show I put up the icons of Italy, you know, Colosseum and you know, all these famous places, right?
Yeah.
And the people who were curating it said, no, we want all the old stuff. We want the stuff that, you know, from where my grandparents were from was a very primitive town. So they wanted all the primitive stuff. They didn't want the famous places.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of
They
strange.
wanted real, yeah.
They
yeah,
wanted
not-
the
not
real stuff,
tourist
which
traps.
I was kind of surprised, you know, because I didn't expect that, you know, they might not have been, you know, too receptive to my, you know, nature, shots that were more the way it is.
Right. Do you carry a point and shoot around with you?
I
I mean, in case you see that thing?
Yeah, actually, I did bring one to Italy, and it was one of those waterproof, break-proof ones, right? So guess what happened?
It got broken and wet.
Right away. So luckily the other, it did. Within like a couple of days, it was.
No, I'm talking about on your regular day, you're off and you're going to whatever gig you got today and stuff like that. Do you have a point and shoot with you in case you come across that scene you want to
No,
grab?
I actually bring my regular camera with me.
You
everywhere.
carry it with you all the time? That's
I always
great.
have it in my trunk. So I
That's
always have
good.
it with me.
That's good. Today, light doesn't matter, does it? Lighting isn't as important. Is it?
No. Yeah, and I have tripods. I have
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 different tripods.
That's great. Well, let's take a look at some of your work. I know
Okay.
that we've got some slides to look at, and they'll be right there. There you go. There's
Okay,
one.
so that's actually the Italian consulate. So they have a beautiful space. That's where you go get visas and all these different kinds of Italian documents up in the Federal Reserve Building.
Yep.
And you need an appointment to go in there, or you need an invitation from me.
Oh,
So
that
you can't
works.
you can't just go in. So when we have our open house, I'll let you know, or reception, I'll let you know because.
Please.
Or if you really want to go, just give me a call, send me an email. It's on my website, and I'll be glad to make an appointment to bring you in there. They're usually open from about 9 to noon, but we can go in after hours if with a special invitation.
That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Shoot some of that.
So as you can see, there's some shots, those long panoramas, those are about 10 feet long. And I print them at home, and I print them on canvas, and then my wife actually helps me. She stretches them. She makes the frames and stretches them.
What's that, G-close? What's it called?
G-clay.
G-clay.
Yeah. But these are, that's another thing. They wanted to see the canvas ones. They didn't want the paper prints. So I thought that
Oh, the
was kinda
canvas
fun.
ones are cool.
It looks like art.
Yeah, that's
it has
cool.
that look. And then this is Pompeii. So, I just went to see the movie Pompeii 3D.
Yeah.
And I was studying the detail on the movie, and I think they actually went to Pompeii to shoot some of those scenes because some of the brickwork looks exactly like this. And because I have a lot of detail shots from when I went there. And it's kind of one of your bucket list places you have to go to.
Sounds
you know,
lonely,
at
Pompeii.
well, it's a big tourist attraction
Yeah.
right now. So, my daughter, I went with my daughter and my wife, and I figured, she had to see that because it's
Right.
really one of those unique places.
Okay.
And this is a carousel in Sciacca, Sicily. And Sciacca happens to be the place, it's a fishing town, and it's south of Palermo. And actually, the Fisherman's Feast in Boston, in the North End, was started there at Sciacca. So there's a lot of people from Sciacca in Boston. And that's just to show, that they the happy, part of of Sicily. A lot of my other stuff is more, the rocks and, different things going on, more nature. That kind of
Okay.
thing. Yeah. Okay, this is a person, Bentavigna, who is an artist who actually came to Boston, and then what he did was he moved back to Sciacca, and he bought this big piece of land, and he started carving all these heads into the stones all around his property. So they call him the village madman. But he has a whole village full of all these sculpted heads. Which he
All
did.
these rock heads.
All these rock heads, yeah. It's really fun. So I
Sorry.
really enjoyed that. And this is 11 Via Pawnee, which is where my grandmother was born.
Uh-huh.
And she came over about 101 years ago, because that's actually why we went, because it was the 100th anniversary of her coming over.
Excellent.
But the place, it looks exactly like it did when she left. And so it makes us, be happy that she actually came here, because it's not really, it hasn't really progressed much, at least at that particular spot.
That's beautiful.
So, we just, it's amazing that, when they came over, that they made the right decision.
Right.
So we're
Do
pretty
you,
happy
do
with
you
that.
have a section of the world that is kind of like on your wish list where you'd like to go? Now, this
like
isn't the Oprah show. I'm not going to send you anything. So I'm
Why
just.
not? Yeah, actually, I'd like to go back to Sicily because
you
there's
go back,
well,
yeah.
you know what it is? There's a lot of rocks. There's a lot of ruins there. They say there are more Greek ruins in Sicily than there are in Greece.
Huh.
And there's all kinds of volcanoes, and it just goes on and on and on. So I think I'd like to go back there for a while.
Fran, give us a website people can go and check you out.
Okay, it's www.frangardino.com.
Oh, that's
And can I just plug my 2 books quickly?
Please, yeah, quickly.
Okay, so I got this book, Manhole Covers, Etc., and it's actually on my website also. You can get a link to it. It's a blurb book, which I published myself. And there's about 230 pages in it, and it's from covers from all over the world. And it was just something that when I travel, I do a lot of business travel.
Manhole covers.
Yeah, sewers and, water valves, and there's
Because some
from
of them are
Venice,
very, very artistic.
from Lowell, from Venice, and then there's one other book,
This is more local.
This is the Boston Pops.
Boston Pops.
I shoot the Boston Pops every year, the fireworks, so I have a lot of, actually I shot one the year of the marathon last year.
Yep.
And I actually kind of dedicated it to the
Excellent.
the tragedy on that day.
Well, Fran, thank you so much. And I will link your website up to our website, so they just go to the Tonight Show and click your name.
Okay.
Thank you very much for
you.
being here with us. I really do appreciate it.
Great.
Listen, gang, we've just gotten started here. Look, you're going to listen. We're going to be showing you a piece of film from the Boston Arts Academy right now, and the 2 women that are working in the program that we're going to be discussing will be joining us directly after that. So we're going to use this as its segue. So sit back, gang. Please enjoy this. You are watching BNN TV's It's All About Arts. We'll be back in just a very short 2 minutes, okay? Thanks.
Hi, my name is Kareem Lewis and I'm from the Boston Arts Academy. In this Springfest show, I was choreographed as solo, and it was basically about me and my struggle in BAA.
I was more interested in doing modern and different types of dance, and the Boston Arts Academy really offered that.
For 8th graders, I would really suggest coming to the Boston Arts Academy because if you really want to pursue this dance career, then they do help you grow in all different aspects: ballet, modern, African, tap, jazz, you name it, they do it.
Well, welcome back, gang. That was very, very interesting and enjoyable. Listen, gang, you're watching BNN TV's It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn Williams, and I'm your host. And it is right now my great pleasure and honor to introduce you to two people that are doing God's work as far as I'm concerned. Lucy Blau. How are you, Lucy? Thank you very much for being in here.
Thank you.
And Mayra Hernandez. Hello, how are you?
Thank you. I'm very well. How are
Ladies,
you?
thank you so much for taking the time out of your obvious busy schedule to come and spend some time with us. The Boston Arts Academy is one of my dreams. I am an arts director at a middle school, and we are making portfolios as we speak for kids who want to go to your great facility over there in the Fens. It's beautiful. I love it.
Thank you.
Lucy, why don't we start? Why don't you tell me a little bit about what the program is that we're going to talk about? What was that we were looking at?
Well, that was just an example of some of the dance program at BAA. And the Center for Arts and Education is the professional development, dissemination, and advocacy wing of Boston Arts Academy. So we're located within the school, and what we basically do is take all the great things going on in BAA and then share them with other schools around Boston Public District and around the country and the world.
Are you recruiting students? Or is this more of an awareness thing?
Right, it's more of an awareness.
Exactly,
yes.
yeah. We're sharing our curricula, we're providing professional development to educators, and we're running several programs as well.
Right. Okay, great. Are either one of you artists as well?
We actually both are. I'm a dancer.
You're a dancer? Very good. You went to the Boston Arts
I
Academy.
did go to the Boston Arts
You were there
Academy.
around the same time my daughter was.
Yes, and that's really amazing.
That's cool. And?
I studied art history.
Okay.
So I'm not really an artist myself, but I study and I love and enjoy
We're
art.
all artists. Just some of us haven't been discovered yet. That's the only difference right now. There's something exciting that's happening that's kind of connecting this to my forehead is at our school we've been a STEM, and we're incorporating the ever-loving A into STEM and turning it into STEAM. And I understand that probably in no other place is there going to be a STEAM lab in a public school system, but you cats are going to pull this off, aren't you?
We are. We're really excited about it. It's a new initiative. We've just received funding. We'll be building this STEAM lab at BA over the summer, and we're going to have the unveiling of the lab at our Center Institute, which will be held October 9th and 10th.
Yeah.
We're inviting all educators, students, administrators to come experience.
I'm going to be there, and I think I'm probably going to have some of my people that I work. STEM, if anybody doesn't know, it stands for
Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Math.
That STEAM does.
Oh,
STEM is no A.
No A, no
A.
A.
Is important.
And I like to think the M stands for music, but it doesn't. It stands for math.
Yes.
And it's kind of it's a philosophy where you're kind of using all of that to educate the whole child, right? And getting that art in there. And I see it, being somebody who teaches art, there's those little victories that we need.
Definitely.
You know, 2 plus 2 is going to be 4. I don't care how you look at it, you know? But a tree can look in so many different ways, and it's so interpretive that the kids are doing. What kind of things is this STEAM lab going to offer or have something for the kids to?
A big focus is on project-based learning, and it's very interdisciplinary. It will, they'll have a lot of different supplies to work with, and it will really be about infusing design, engineering, science, the whole thing. And we've had a lot of really exciting, innovative projects going on already, so it's sort of a continuation of that. One of them we did 2 years ago was called Design Comes Alive, and that was a big project that came about due to a collaboration between Turk, a nonprofit, and the National Science Foundation and BAA. And we had about 100 students involved. It was a week of different projects that incorporated, engineering, design. All of STEAM came together. They worked with fashion, movement, electronics. They created. They, tried, failed. Everything that comes into building and making, and it was really
that
exciting.
amazing building has it all.
Yes.
Right.
You know, as well as foul balls, I understand too. They're right behind
Occasionally.
Fenway Park.
Yes.
I mean, you can hear the game if it's a day game, right?
Right.
Yeah.
No more exciting place. But anyways, the thing that I enjoy about that whole concept is one of the things that I'm not a lean on, I'm not a hover type of teacher, but I do like to cluster kids. And I do like the kid that needs this, needs that, or has this, or has that, put them together to work in kind of a team atmosphere. And taking some of that teacher at the blackboard thing away and letting them kind of grow together. Is that kind of close? Am I getting close?
Definitely, yeah. And the STEAM lab will be not like a traditional classroom. And, you know, there will be space for students to explore. They'll be able to, you know, go from here to there, whatever they're interested in. They'll be able to just sort of use all of everything that's available to them to do things that are different and that they can relate to the real world.
I think it also, one of the things it does is it brings teachers to work together.
Definitely.
There are some teachers that haven't spoken to each other in years on different floors or different grades, you know? And I think one of the things it does is it kind of makes that collaborative learning atmosphere more real, you know?
Definitely.
And I think it makes the building feel good, too.
Yes.
When is the date for I have it here, but I want you to talk a little bit about the date and what can people expect when they come.
It will be October 9th and 10th. It's the Thursday and Friday before Columbus Day weekend.
What's now, what's new? Is that what that is?
Yep.
Yes.
That's what's now, what's next. That's
What's
our
next? I'm sorry.
tagline,
Yep.
and it's really about seeing what's innovative in what we're doing at Boston Arts Academy and just in general. People can share ideas, can share, you know, projects, experiences. We'll have a variety of workshops on topics like arts assessment, arts integration, inclusion and differentiation, a lot of things we really know and we are good at and we want to sort of share with others. And there'll just be, you know, student performances, you know, a lot of exciting things going on, as well as the STEAM Lab unveiling.
Now, do you think are there people coming in from out of town for this?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Last year we had people from France, from Qatar, from, you know, around the country. We have a lot of friends and a lot of collaborations with
Will it be
around the world.
at the school, or are you going to be holding it
Yes.
someplace else?
Yep, it's at the
I think it's got to be at the school.
Definitely.
You know, I mean, people who don't, they will know about it. You know, and it's an experience to go there anyways. Are you finding that it's some of our old-time teachers kicking and screaming going into this?
No, I think not. I think everyone is really open to the fact that this lab is coming into the space. I mean, it's
Not at your school. I'm not talking about the Boston Arts Academy. I'm talking about teachers in general. Are they coming and some of them saying, yeah, you know, this is newfangled thing?
We haven't received any pushback yet,
Good.
and so I mean, all BPS schools are really going to benefit from this. So,
This is good. So it's not just going to happen at the Boston Arts Academy.
well, right now we hope that it's going to expand and it's going to be in every single school. That's what we would like,
That's very important.
right? We'll
isn't it?
start small and we'll expand. You
Now,
know.
we do have another short film to take a peek at, and tell us a little bit about what we're going to see.
This
So,
is
Lucy.
the Design Comes Alive video, so you can just see a little bit about what the students, what the projects they were doing. They're presenting their work at the end of the
Okay.
week.
I'm going to say thank you very much, ladies, for coming in, and please, would you come back again
Definitely.
and join us again? Because I think that it's me working with kids. I teach K0 through 8th grade, so I get to see them once a week. And but this is a great deal. It's a great opportunity for people. We're going to get
really
some of these over to my school. Make sure we pass some of these out. Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lucy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, listen, dig this. You're going to really enjoy this. This is, say it again. This is what?
The video is Design Comes Alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. And we'll be back with Julie in just a couple minutes, so don't go away, gang. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Thanks.
For as long as I've been at BAA, we've really been committed to this idea of being a laboratory for innovation and really always trying new approaches and new things, always trying to work a little bit harder to engage our students in their learning and try to build bridges between their arts, their love and passion for their arts, and their growth in the academic subjects.
Then the question became, how do you get kids, once they've learned something about engineering, to begin thinking about engineering as a design principle out there in the world? And so the notion of bringing artists in, as well as scientists, to help extend our students' thinking was where the Design Comes Alive came to fruition.
The Design Comes Alive project is a great opportunity that we've had through the Turk NSF partnership to bring in visiting artists and artist engineers who are working with our students to explore ideas about art and engineering and how, when both are treated equally, what are the amazing things that can happen.
So we thought about what if we invited some local community artists and have them work with the kids on projects that sort of will infuse an artistic model into the work.
How do you channel creativity into a process that actually does end up achieving and implementing something? That's what we're trying to do.
We're trying to teach them how to use electronics as a gestural medium, essentially as a tool to make art with, or to express themselves the same way you would use a paintbrush or some other medium to express your ideas.
It's a lot more different than what I've experienced before. Yeah. But it's definitely fun. I like it.
It was unique because you get to put your style and like dancing, like you get to put your style and what you have learned.
Well, I always think it's cool incorporating art in the most in the things that you wouldn't expect it to have a relation to. Yeah.
Hey gang, welcome back to It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn Williams, and I'm joined now with everybody. How lucky am I? Mayra there was something that I'd forgotten to get to, and I think that it's really, it's kind of a really important part of this whole thing. I mean, I got so caught up in my own steam.
It's okay.
That it was, that, you know, that I think that it's important that Mayra tell me a little bit about what this alumni
Creative Core Program
is.
So the short is ACC, and what it stands for is it's a teaching artist residency program in which we train Boston Arts Academy alum, and we place them within the Boston public school system to help increase the access to high quality arts education with the support of arts teachers within the BPS district.
So are the alum, are they teachers themselves, or are they into their own, you know, profession? Are they professional artists?
They're all professional artists, you know, they're theater majors, dancers, vocalists, instrumentalists, and so it's for the ones that have a passion for teaching and want to start tapping into that professional development and high mentorship quality experience.
So you're gathering your successes and dealing them out around the Boston Public School system to kind of like let the kids know that this is not necessarily to let them know that this is a viable option, but to use the talent that they have to kind of help with the educational process of our younger citizens.
Definitely. It really deepens the arts education, and we've had amazing feedback from the district as well as the teachers and the students.
Is it something you're just doing with the Boston Public Schools, or are you branching out to other parts of the Boys and Girls Club?
So right now it's just Boston Public School, but we are looking to expand, you know, maybe go nationally, internationally. It really is just sky's the limit for us.
Because you got a lot of alumni.
We have a lot of alumni.
Kids out there, a lot of people out there that are doing professional things.
Yeah, 15 years.
This is, you know something, we're going to reschedule you guys to come back, both of you, just to have the whole show.
We would love that.
Think so?
We would really love that.
I think that we have a lot to talk about here, and being in education myself, I think it's so important. I'm actually going to have my school on in a little bit. They're going to come and talk about STEAM and STEM too. So,
that's wonderful.
Listen, gang, thanks an awful lot. Julie, I'm sorry I went airy there. I started talking too much.
No, it's all about them.
Yes, it is. It is.
It's all about the arts.
They have more important things to say than I do.
Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Continue the hard work, okay? And please keep us informed as far as what's going on. And let's start the process sooner than later. Maybe even get some students on here. I mean,
yes, we'd love to.
I don't think we won't do that. That'd be awesome. So listen, gang, thanks an awful lot for being with us here tonight. Are you going to say goodnight with us?
Good night.
That'd be great. Listen, gang, get out there and do something artful for yourself, please. And like I like to say every week, please keep in the forefront of your minds our mothers, fathers, sons and daughters, aunts and uncles, nieces and nephews on foreign soil. Please keep them in your thoughts. We'll see you next week. Baby, thank you. We'll dig you later, guys.
Good night.